Bitcoin is creating all-time high after all-time high, and yesterday we saw the most bullish day ever since the start of the Bitcoin ETFs, and this is very insane of course. We also saw a very interesting day for the Ethereum ETFs, and a lot of interesting formations are unfolding for Bitcoin on the charts, which I will discuss with you of course. So there's a lot to talk about today for Bitcoin, and I will also have a look at the two altcoins, XRP and Bittensor TAO, because they also show very interesting price actions. Yesterday we also saw a rate cut by the Federal Reserve, which is also giving us more liquidity into the market. So you want to watch this video all the way to the end? Don't forget to slap up that like button, and let's dive right into the charts. On the 30-minute time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is now in this rising wedge formation. We can see multiple touch points on the lower side as support and on the top side as resistance. And this formation is a typical bearish bias pattern because we are seeing a grinding price to the top side, but eventually most of the times we see a breakdown, a retest of the support to test it as resistance, and then we can aim for lower targets. But of course we want to see more strength for Bitcoin coming into the market, and that we're going to see a spike to the top side, and that we're going to separate ourselves from this support level on the lower side. And eventually we want to break out of this pattern, and that of course will be very bullish. And the trend for Bitcoin is still up, so we could expect also a little bit of an upwards price explosion. But of course keep in mind that this pattern is a typical bearish bias pattern, and we could see a little bit of a throwback later today. And if we then zoom out a little bit on the 4-hour time frame, we can see Bitcoin is in its broadening wedge formation. We can see a lot of touch points on the top side as resistance and also on the lower side as support. And currently we are back at the top side resistance, so keep in mind that we could potentially see a little bit of a retracement and that we're going to get rejected from this level, and we're already seeing a little bit of a rejection from this level coming in. So of course we could potentially see a little bit of a throwback, and it will bring us all the way back to the $68,000 if we're coming back to this lower side support. And from there we can probably enter the market again in the long. But of course the last few days have been very bullish for Bitcoin, and we could potentially also see a huge breakout of this formation, and that we're just continuing the bullish uptrend to the top side. And yesterday we had the most bullish day ever since the start of the Bitcoin ETFs. We saw a total inflow of 1.3 and almost 1.4 billion of inflows. And look at how much BlackRock was buying. They bought for more than $1.1 billion. So this is insane of course. And also the Fidelity Bitcoin ETFs are buying like crazy. And now we can see that a spike to the top side again. And now we're coming above the $25.5 billion in total cumulative inflow. So this is of course very bullish. And this is what is pumping the price of Bitcoin yesterday. So yesterday we created an all-time high, and that was all because the inflows in the Bitcoin ETFs. And if we then have a quick look at the Ethereum ETFs, we can see they are finally picking up steam. Now we can see that Ethereum ETFs are also very interested in buying more ETH, and we can see almost an $80 million of inflow. So let's see if we can end the week strong for the Ethereum ETFs, and if we can continue this bullish streak of inflows. And if we then zoom out on the daily time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is still in this beautiful uptrend to the top side. We can see that Bitcoin created an all-time high, and now we're creating a higher high on the chart, which is very bullish. And of course we are still in this huge uptrend, and now we could potentially see a little bit of a throwback to create a higher low again. And if Bitcoin is going to create a higher low, I am very much interested into buying more Bitcoin, because I am buying every dip in an uptrend. So you want to be greedy when we are seeing a little bit of a throwback and that we're going to create a higher low. So of course we could potentially also gain this level again, but there's also a very big chance that we're going to see a little bit of a throwback to see a higher low play for Bitcoin, because we now already can see a little bit of a resistance coming in here into the market. So keep in mind that Bitcoin is still in this huge uptrend, and that we will just see more exponential moves to the top side. And looking at this chart with horizontal levels that act as resistance and support, we can now see we broke out of every level, and this is very bullish. So Bitcoin is now officially in price discovery, and we can see that Bitcoin has not been at this level ever, so there is no historic price action to refer to for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin can move freely, and of course we could potentially see a little bit of a throwback to test the previous all-time high, because this last resistance level hasn't been tested as support. So you could potentially enter the market for Bitcoin if we're going to see a retest of the previous all-time high, and that will be around the $73,000. So from there you could enter the market, and then of course Bitcoin could also make a higher low play, and this will be the higher low play that you could wait for, and then from there you can enter the market for Bitcoin in the long and aim for higher targets. And yesterday we had another FOMC meeting by the Federal Reserve and we saw another rate cut of 25 basis points. So this is very bullish and this will bring us only more price action because more liquidity into the market means bigger pumps, and this is very bullish for assets just like Bitcoin and stocks. So in the coming months we will see only more rate cuts and this will pump up the price of Bitcoin even more. And if we then zoom out all the way to the Bitcoin weekly time frame, we can see this bull flag formation is beautiful to see. And we can see almost a consolidation of 8 months. Then we broke our bullish. We retested this previous resistance as support, as we can see here. And now we can see an exponential move to the top side. And this bullish bull flag has a breakout target of $110,000. So keep in mind that we're still on the verge of a huge exponential move to the top side for Bitcoin. So this looks very bullish, and I think in the coming weeks we will see a lot of more exponential moves for Bitcoin. And zooming out to the monthly time frame, we can also see that Bitcoin was grinding downwards in this consolidation formation for 8 months already. And we saw a bullish retest of the previous all-time high, and then we saw a breakout of this formation, and now we are seeing 3 consecutive bullish months for Bitcoin. So especially I think we will see more continuation of this bullish momentum. And let's see if November and December can be strong, so we can enter the year of 2024 very strong for Bitcoin. And we could potentially see levels around $80,000. And let me know in the comments what your end of year prediction is for Bitcoin. Personally, I think we will see the $100,000. And the first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Bittensor TAO. TAO was in this huge downtrend on the daily time frame, and we saw a huge falling wedge formation. Then we saw a breakout, a retest of the resistance to turn it into support. And from there we saw exponential move to the top side. And now we are seeing a little bit of a retracement back to lower levels. And I've been telling you that I've been buying at these support areas. And every time we came back to this previous resistance levels to test them as support, I was buying more TAO. Because I think TAO is a very interesting project. And every time we go lower, I will buy more TAO. Because we see a lot of interesting price action here. And now we can see a little bit of a bearish retest happening because this previous support is now acting as resistance. So we could potentially see a little bit of a throwback. And if we're going back to this level, I'm going to buy even more because I think this will be the last big support level to hold for TAO. So if we're going back to this level, I'm going to buy in heavily, and then we can aim for high target. And also this previous resistance hasn't been tested as support, so this could be a very interesting level for TAO to come back to. But of course we could potentially also see that the trend is now shifting to an uptrend again, and that we're going to see high levels for TAO. And the second interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is XRP. We can see that XRP was in this huge formation on the daily time frame, and we can see on the top side a huge resistance area coming in. And on the lower side we saw a huge uptrend, and there's also a huge support level was coming in. We broke down from this level, and now we're coming back to this level to test this previous support level as resistance. So this is actually a little bit of a bearish retest. So let's see if we can see a little bit of a retracement here, and that of course will be very bearish. So of course we want to see that XRP is coming back inside of the formation and that we're going to see more upside for XRP. But for now we are seeing this bearish retest unfolding, and that is a little bit more bearish than bullish. And if we zoom out to the weekly time frame for XRP, we can see we are in this formation since the start of November 2021. So that's almost for 3 years, and this is now looking very bullish because we are coming closer and closer to a breakout, and eventually XRP has to pick a side. So we will either see a break to the top side or a break to the downside. But of course we all want to see that bullish break for XRP, and if we're going to see a bullish break, then we have a breakout target of the top side of this formation, which will be confluent with the 96 cents. So this could be a very interesting trade for XRP to make. So let's see if XRP can finally break out of this huge consolidation formation. And that of course will be the most epic move for XRP in the coming months. Please give a like if you find the video useful. Don't forget to follow me on my other socials, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.